better.
Coming to you live from Tampa Bay, Health Info Radio is proud to present The Pulse with your host, Carol Ann, your tough love administrator.
Welcome, everybody, to The Pulse, where you are always up to date with the latest, greatest health and fitness information. I am your host, Carol Ann, and your fitness expert, but I like to call myself the closet couch potato. Can you relate to that, Nolan?
Yes.
Can
yes,
you?
I can.
Yes. Did you exercise over the weekend?
No.
Okay. How's that Mountain Dew
I
thing going?
I relapsed once,
Right. I heard that. Yep.
and then I haven't had any since then.
That's awesome. I'm so proud of you because that, a lot of times when you have that Mountain Dew addiction out there or whatever addiction it is, whether it's your Twizzlers, your candy, whatever, it's always just a nice success to kick it. But then sometimes if you have a relapse, but as long as that's just like your one little treat.
I wonder if everybody has a relapse their first time quitting Mountain Dew, because
Yeah.
I was drinking a lot of it every day, and then I don't know, I just was like, oh, my energy. But really, it was just, I was revved, so I thought that was my energy, but it's really not.
It's just a false sense of energy, right? Well, cool. Well, I'm so happy to hear that because we get a lot of people out there that have that same addiction with Mountain Dew or whatever it is. And so they can definitely relate to you. Mine is, I always like doing a half and half, like a half Coke, half Diet Coke, so I don't feel as guilty.
Ah, I see.
But
justifying is what they call it.
Justifying. Yeah, I guess you can call it that. But I haven't had one of those in a while. But I usually give myself an excuse. Like when I do a lot of writing, when I'm writing a lot of articles, then that's kind of like my little treat to have. And then I do a half and half. So I tell myself that I deserve this, right? So we all have these psychological tricks that we like to do with ourselves. But so today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the optimal exercise for your age. Did you know that you had an optimal exercise for your age?
I did not know that.
You did not know that. So we're going to learn about that. We're also going to learn about the 5 lifestyle changes for a healthy weight loss. And a lot of times, you really don't have to do a lot to really make huge changes. But it's just those little small changes that make a huge difference. So we're going to talk about that today. Also, we've got 3 amazing people that are getting huge results on this E84 challenge that we're doing that's by Evolve Health. And so they're going to come on and they're going to share with us their stories and how they're doing on their challenge. And remember, this 84-day challenge through Evolve Health, it's just taking one thing about your life or about your health and fitness that you would like to improve upon within the next 84 days. And then we track that. And so what do you think, Nolan?
That's almost 3 months?
Yes.
Or is that 3 months?
It's 3 months. It's 12 weeks. Right. So we just changed it around to where it's 84 days.
It's a soft number. I get it.
Yeah, you got it. Okay.
I mean,
So
you say 90 days, it's daunting,
Right.
84 is like, oh, that's not so bad.
It's not 90, right?
It's not 90. I could never do 90. Like that P90X, that's too harsh.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and that's
84X is what we should call it.
Is that right? Well, that's the point. Those exercise programs are great for people that like that intense, but for somebody that just, you just made the comment that your average person, that scares the crap out of them when they're looking at that P90X and all those people that have these hard rocking bodies and they're jumping all around and they're just you're hard and rocking, aren't you?
Yeah, sure. I love it.
All right, so before long, you're going to be in my 6:30 a.m. boot camp class. I just see it.
Yeah, probably. I was in boot camp remember, I was in the Air Force for
Yes,
a while.
so you had the real deal.
I actually graduated top of the class, believe it or not. Yeah.
I don't think you give yourself enough credit.
I know, but it was awful. I don't even know how I did it. I don't know. I really don't. I don't. I think it's just because I don't know. I was in the Air Force, so it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like the Army or the Marines or anything.
Right. My brother's Air Force.
So
yeah, I can kind of agree.
They call it the Chair Force for a reason.
Chair Force. That's true. I mean, my brother, he in the Air Force, that's what he does. He protects the borders of our country. So he sits there and he watches a screen, and it's not like he's out there flying the fighter jets or anything, but he tells the fighter jets what to do and where to go. Isn't that like the coolest thing?
Yeah.
It's like the ultimate. Remember the game Risk? Do you ever remember that military game Risk?
I think
at all?
Yeah, no, I remember the game.
Or were you about to slam me for my age?
No. I was gonna say I think it's a little different. I don't know that I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying
No,
he could
yeah,
totally
yeah.
relate
I was
because
just-
he has total control over those pieces and where they can go. So he's like watching the screen and he sees these unidentified flying objects on the screen. It's like the ultimate video game.
Seems pretty cool.
Okay, we're gonna get in a lot of trouble here by moving forward with this conversation. I just feel I'm gonna get in trouble with him anyway.
Your caller's
So-
probably like, "What the heck are they talking
what
about?"
are they talking about? So anyway, so we're going to talk about exercise that is appropriate for your age, and then we're going to talk about 5 lifestyle changes for healthy weight loss. But first, we have a hydrate alert. Nolan, you've been listening to this show for a while now. Do you have any idea what this hydrate alert is?
Yes.
Oh, tell us.
Every time that you say a word, right? Is that what you're talking about? Every time you say a word, that would be, I don't know, like the word would be fitness. If somebody said the word fitness, then they have to hydrate.
I love it. Good job. All right, that's exactly right. So today's word of the day is health. Simple enough, right? So we're going to have a lot of people out there. Every time we say the word health, take a guzzle for your muzzle.
So if I'm like, this is the pulse on healthinforadio.com.
You have to take a drink.
Okay.
Right. So
Make sure to turn into the healthinforadio.com.
Yeah.
You have to do it again.
healthinforadio.com.
Okay. The company's not responsible for any drowning,
Oh, no.
but you might want to go see your health advisor.
There you go. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
So, hydrate. And we're going to talk about, the importance of making sure you're hydrated rather than thinking you're hungry, because your body, it thinks thirst and hunger are the same triggers. So when you think you're hungry, you're really probably dehydrated. So you want to reach for your water. Don't, reach for your sugary drinks, because if you're trying to lose weight, you're actually packing the pounds on. So we encourage people, don't drink your calories, eat your calories. All right. So Nolan, thanks for hanging with
welcome.
me at the beginning. I always like, checking
welcome.
in with
Thank
you and
you.
see how everything's going. And
A good person to interview would be Adam, because he went, how much weight did you lose?
50 pounds.
50 pounds,
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, yeah, totally. We want to hear all about your story.
Unmute your mic real quick. Unmute your mic. Oh, okay. Well, anyways, this is what he said. I said, "How'd you lose all the weight?" He goes, "I ate right. I just ate right."
Isn't
was
that-
it.
isn't
and
that-
I exercised. That's amazing.
Amazing.
Don't worry about dieting or working out. Take this pill.
Exactly. And you know what? He's going to keep it off. He's going to keep it off because he's establishing a healthy lifestyle. And that is awesome. We love to hear that. So we're going to get you on here and we're
We
going to
love
hear
Adam.
all about, we love Adam.
Thank you.
We're going to get you on and
He's healthy.
thanks, Nolan. You shoeless Nolan, you. Now you really look like Jesus. All right, gang. Well, hey, listen. So make sure that you take a sip, guzzle for your muzzle every time you hear the word health. And then don't forget to post on my Facebook page how many times we said that word. And that is Carol Ann Misfit Facebook. And okay, so gang, we're going to talk about optimal exercise time for every age. Now, exercise is very, very important. Obviously, we know that, but how much exercise and is it appropriate for your age group? So I love this article. We're going to talk first of all, children ages 6 to 17. And, when you're looking at children, especially younger children, and you want to incorporate exercise as part of their everyday routine. So really, you want to get in at least 1 hour of physical activity every day for a child within ages 6 to 17. And that may seem like a lot because as adults, we're thinking, how in the world can I fit in an hour of exercise every day? Well, children exercise just in their normal day-to-day activity anyway, because they're running around. And honestly, if you were to go to a playground and just sat on a park bench and just, watch children and how they play, then that's how you should emulate an exercise program for kids. So really, it's all about incorporating fun. They don't know that they're exercising. A game of kickball or jump rope or swimming, but anything fun for a kid, they're going to get their exercise in. But for cardiovascular exercise, you want to, which would be aerobic conditioning, anything that involves running or jump roping, riding their bike, roller skating. All of these are fun activities that will give them an aerobic effect or a cardiovascular workout. But you also want to make sure that they're incorporating muscular strengthening type of activity. So what is that for a kid? Well, you're not going to have a kid on ages 6 to 17, maybe when they're getting a little older in their teenage years, you're not going to give them dumbbells or barbells or exercise equipment of that nature like we would as an adult. So what we encourage kids to do, push-ups, body type of activity. So push-ups are good, climbing trees, climbing the monkey bars on the playground. So any of these type of activities that encourages a child to use his or her own body weight will help to develop those muscles properly for that age group. Now, if you've got kids, and I have seen this before, and this really, I don't know why coaches are doing this, but you got kids that are playing football and they do stand the risk of injury. And so they're out there hitting hard and that. And so you do want to develop some sort of strength conditioning program for them. But having these kids body pressing or bench pressing this crazy amount of weight, or even doing squats or 1 rep max squat with all of this weight, that's not good for kids. It's really not. Their growth plates have not fully developed, and so they're not quite ready for that type of intense strength conditioning yet. So we want to, unless they are in a specific type of sport, kids in general definitely need to get in some sort of aerobic activity and couple that with muscle conditioning that would encourage them to use their own body weight. And that's ages 6 to 17. Now we take a look at adults ages 18 to 64. Now we get a little bit more in detail with this, but really, when I look at the guidelines, you have to take into consideration moderate intensity and vigorous intensity. Now, when you really look at this, this is kind of cool that you have this information in your hands and you can pretty much dictate how your workouts are going to go. But really, each week, adults need either 5 hours of moderate exercise each week or 2.5 hours of vigorous exercise each week. So when you take a look at that, deciding on what kind of time you have. So 5 hours of moderate exercise. Now, what is moderate exercise? What is that? So to get your heart rate up and break a sweat, it usually takes more than, shopping around or doing laundry. So you really want to do a type of activity, aerobic activity, to where you are huffing and puffing and you are breathing heavily. So if you were able to make speeches or sing songs, then you're not working hard enough. So that's still moderate intensity. Now, when you get into vigorous intensity, you're going to go a little bit harder than that. You're going to be huffing and puffing. You're going to be able to say short little phrases, but you may not be able to continue that intensity for very much longer. So what I like about this, you got 5 hours of moderate intensity activity. So it could be walking, it could be rollerblading or roller skating or biking at a lower intensity, or you can take that same activity, turn it into jogging or running, or you could pick up your pace in your biking and in your rollerblading. So you really want to go hard. Now, when we're talking about vigorous exercise, we're really talking about more of getting into some sort of interval training, because you'll be able to do all out type of aerobic activity coupled with a bout of kind of a lower intensity. So you can sprint and then you can walk, sprint, walk, and that's going to be more of a vigorous type of activity. So if you just keep in mind that for every 2 minutes of moderate intensity type of activity, it's equivalent to 1 minute of vigorous activity. So depending on what kind of time you have during the day or during the week, you can use that to your benefit to get in what you really need for aerobic activity. And then also don't forget your muscle conditioning as well. You want to get 2 days in a week of working your body overall, head to toe muscle conditioning, the major muscle groups. So we're talking quads, hamstrings, glutes, abs, chest, upper back, biceps, triceps. So you want to either do weight training or you can do body using your own body weight for resistance type of training like Pilates and yoga. Resistance bands are awesome as well. So there you have it for age 18 to 64. Adults 65 and over. So we tell this age group to aim for 2.5 hours of moderate exercise or an hour and 15 minutes of vigorous exercise. So we know as we age, it depends on what your current activity level is. If you've always been active all the way through until you're over 65, you continue to do the type of activities that you're used to doing. And then depending on how you're feeling or what your health is like in your joints, then you may want to scale it back just a little bit. But overall, the recommendations 2.5 hours of moderate exercise a week or an hour and 15 minutes of vigorous exercise for adults 65 and over. So awesome information there. And then really, really quickly, we're going to talk about 5 lifestyle changes for healthy weight loss. And really what you want to do, just like Adam was saying earlier, he ate right and he exercised. It's really not that difficult, but sometimes the 8 inches between our ears get in the way, and so we make it a lot more complicated than what it really needs to be. So let's first of all take a look at your TV time. Now, like I always say, I am a closet couch potato, and I love my trash TV. I love my reality shows, my Housewives, The Voice, The American Idol, The X Factor, Once Upon a Time. These are all shows I enjoy. But here's the deal. The more time my booty is sitting on the couch watching TV, the less time I have to really burn off those excess calories. So, you want to really be limiting your TV time. And once you cut that out, reduce that back, you're going to start to see that you're burning more calories. Sleep. This is very, very important. If you are not getting in 8 hours of sleep every night, then you reduce the ability for you to burn off excess calories, also to help rejuvenate your body, to reset your metabolism for the day. So sleep is really important. So you really need to look at getting 8 hours every evening in sleep, and you're really going to see your metabolism work more efficiently during the day. Number 3, drink choices. We talked a little bit about this earlier, but water, water, water. One thing you want to keep in mind is that you don't want to drink your calories. Eat your calories, drink water. And again, your body confuses thirst and hunger quite frequently. So if you're feeling hunger, then you might not be hungry. Don't reach for those unhealthy snacks. You just may be thirsty. So, and then also breakfast. We've got 2 more points here. Number 4 is breakfast. Make sure you're getting in a healthy breakfast, about 200, 300 calories first thing within the hour of your waking up. That's going to boost your metabolism. And then, of course, physical activity. Gang, it really is calories in, calories out. If you reduce the number of calories you're taking into your body and you are expending more calories at the end of the day or at the end of the week, you are going to start to see those pounds melt off of you. It really is simple. Please don't make it as complicated as what we all try to make it, and just keep it simple and you will be successful. Gang, I am really, really excited because we're going to shift our focus to our E84 challenge that we're doing. And this is through a company called Evolve Health. And so far, we've had 50,000 individuals complete this E84 challenge. And I have an individual on the line. His name is Bishop Carl Robinson out of California, making amazing feats with this program. He's had amazing results, and he is coming on the show to share with us, for him, what is creating so much success for him, because we're all in this journey together. And usually it's that one little nugget that somebody can share with us that will make a big difference in our own health and fitness journey. So, Carl Robinson, thank you so much for joining us today.
Okay, well, good day, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what part of the world you're in. How are you today, Miss Carol Ann?
I am great. Carl, I just love you. I met you, gosh, I think I've known you now for 2 years, I'd have to say, and maybe even longer than
that.
And so I know that, you have come to a point in your life where you just had one of those aha moments, and you said to yourself that, you know what, I am going to get my health and fitness on track, and then I'm going to set a good example to my family and my friends and congregation. So can you please share with everyone, first of all, give us your background and what it is that you do, and then shift into your personal journey of your health and fitness.
All right, not a problem. Again, thanks for inviting me to the radio show today. Again, my name is Carl Robinson. I'm a pastor of a church here in the Los Angeles basin, Long Beach, city of Long Beach. I've been a pastor now for well over 21 years. But as well as being a pastor, I'm also an entrepreneur. I've had several types of businesses, from traditional businesses to direct sales companies. So I'm coined as a pastorpreneur here in the marketplace simply because we've had great success with both ministry and as an urban church, as well as in business. My business background hails from, again, traditional business, from selling photocopiers, having my own office automation dealership through AT&T, selling fax machines and copiers, to having my own corporate business development firm where we help people to build and develop their business structure by using the power of a corporation and finding capital for their businesses. I've owned a limousine company. So I've had a litany of business and background experiences. But coupled with that, I've always dabbled as an additional income in whatever I've done in some sort of direct sales or a marketing company. And I've never been that top number one income earner guy in any company, but I've always been in the top percentage of income producers and success with companies. When I was introduced to Evolve Health, it was really through the context of the business, the opportunity to earn a residual and additional finances, which the company has a great platform for that. But since it was health and wellness, I said, wow, I have some issues that I've been wrestling with now for the last couple of years. And I said, let me see if these products, if this system that these gentlemen have put together can really help me. I was a type 2 diabetic. The day I was diagnosed with diabetes, it was during, it was during the playoff season. Lakers were playing, they were playing Boston, and it was like the final game. All I wanted to do that Thursday night was go home and watch some basketball. I had it all planned out. My chair was ready. My big sippy cup was ready. That's all I wanted to do. But I had these unusual symptoms that were just gnawing at me. So I figured I'd just drive myself to the doctor. I went to emergency. Maybe I just needed a shot, had an infection or something. I'm always running. And I was sitting there in the diagnosis room, and first set of nurses came in, and 2 minutes later, another set of nurses came in, and within 15, 20 minutes, I had about 7 nurses, 4 doctors, all of them, and then the lead doctor came in. And so I'm telling jokes. I'm like, oh, this must be the training area, because everybody wants to take my blood pressure and pick at me and poke at me. I'm just having the time of my life. Then the lead doctor said to me, Mr. Robinson, do you really realize how sick you are? And I'm like, man, I don't feel sick. I just got these few little symptoms. I'm urinating quite a bit and, feeling really thirsty. He said, sir, your blood sugar is 544.
Wow.
He said, your blood pressure is 289 over 194.
Oh my goodness.
I said, it is. He said, yeah. He said, you are somewhere between a coma and a stroke.
Mm.
And you're sitting here, telling jokes. I told another joke. I said, well, Jesus, give me a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, the only place we're going to shoot you, sir, is the ICU. And for the next 5 days, I was admitted into the hospital. I was admitted in the ICU. And they worked and they practiced and they tried different cocktails trying to get my blood pressure as well as my blood sugar down. When I was finally released from the hospital 5 days later, I was immediately placed on insulin. And after 3 days of being at home shooting myself with insulin, 2 types of insulin, I knew that this was not God's will for my life. I knew that I couldn't do this. I couldn't do it. And so I just succumbed to the reality. You know what? I'm going to do what I can do naturally. And so I changed my diet and changed my intake and started drinking more water and working out a little bit and dropped a little weight, but not enough to lower my intake levels or my glucose levels to the point where it was below the place where I didn't have to take insulin. So I was living for the last number of years at 180 to 200 every day. And some days I would succumb to the needle. I didn't broadcast it. I didn't share it with anyone. I was embarrassed by it because I shouldn't be here. But, I'm so thankful when I was introduced to Evolve Health. That's when I said to myself, okay, let me see if these products can help me get over some of my issues. Well, I'm telling you, Caroline, in my first 28 days of my first 84-day challenge, in my first 28 days, I lost, first of all, 21 pounds.
Wow.
And I know you're going to be a little mad at me, but I didn't even work out.
See, but that's great.
Days, I didn't go to the gym. I didn't walk. All I did was change my eating habits. I started partaking of the products, using their amazing shake, using the Limitless product, and taking the Thin, and I was drinking water, the Evolve water, which is an alkaline water. I mean, I was just laser focused on that first 28 days, and immediately I started seeing results. Back in my first week, I saw my glucose levels drop from 180 where I lived, 200 where I lived. It dropped down to 150. I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. And then next few days, it dropped down to 138. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then next thing I know, it's down to 105. I'm like, oh man, I'm in the zone. Then one morning, Caroline, I woke up, it was 84. My blood sugar was 84.
Oh,
I said, I need to go get me a donut.
Oh, no. We got to get it back up again, right? Oh.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. And so I attribute it to the system that the Evolve Health Company has put in place. And now today, I started this challenge a little biscuit shy of 300 pounds. I'm now down over 70 pounds in the past 2 sessions of 84 days. I'm trying to break now 200. I haven't been under 200 pounds since I was in high school. So I'm trying to break that in the next 30 days or so as we're closing out this next segment of an 84-day period. And it's all because of small daily changes to my life. Just small daily changes.
Wow, that is.
I started drinking.
Oh, are you drinking? Yeah, we've got to.
I started drinking more water. That was a small daily change.
Oh yes.
I started being more conscious of the foods that I intook. Small daily changes, and as a result of that, I'm now in the best shape I've been in over 30 years. I'm having more energy than I've ever had in my life. And I feel good. I look good. It's all good. And I'm thankful because of the Evolve Health products.
That is awesome. Because we do have not only an obesity, overweight issue in our country, but coupled with that, we have a rise of type 2 diabetes in our country, and it's getting out of control. And the most important thing to understand about type 2 diabetes, or with diabetes overall, is that 90% of people who have diabetes, 90% of them, it's type 2 diabetes, which is all behavior. It's all, you can control that and reverse that through exercise and eating properly. And and having a system or a program that works for you, that's easy to follow. And I just think it's awesome. That's wonderful, because you're going to be able to help so many people with your story and give them hope when it comes to, because like I said, we've got a lot of people with type 2 diabetes. So, thank you so much, Carl, for sharing your story with us. All right, next on the line, we have Kristen. And also, Kristen is one of our E84 challengers, and she's also here to tell us about her story and about how she's had amazing results on the program. And, just going back to Bishop Carl and what he was saying and sharing with us, because it really is all about the small changes, and it's not about complicating things. And, he just focused on, first of all, just substituting one of his meals with a meal replacement shake. And then he didn't even work out. For the first 28 days, he didn't even incorporate exercise into his routine. And I think a lot of people, it's a daunting, I guess, if you will, task or thought to think about having to incorporate exercise, having to change what they eat all at once. And so he just started off with just changing his diet or doing a meal replacement shake. And then he incorporated exercise after his first 28 days. So it's kind of like he was warming up to the idea of making those changes. So Kristen is another one of our E84 challengers. And Kristen, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on.
Well, girl, I have been seeing your before and after pictures, and they are amazing. I am so tickled to death to have you on with us, because we've got so many people that really want to hear how you were able to make your changes and be so successful with the E84 Challenge program. So what I'd like to do is, if you could you share with us what your background is? What is it that you do? And then talk about how the challenge fit with your what used to be your lifestyle, and how you were able to make your changes.
Well, I am an educational consultant, and so that means I travel all the time. I'm always on an airplane. I'm actually sitting in my car right now driving to a destination. And so what happens is you fall prey to eating bad on the road when you're on the road. And so that's what happened to me. I fell to eating horribly on the road. And when I started this job 12 and a half years ago, I was 98 pounds, believe it or not. And then I looked up in January, and I was 130 pounds. And that's not a lot. A lot of people were like, you still look great. But for me, that was not good, because heart disease and strokes and dementia and a lot of things run in my family, and high cholesterol. And I actually battled that for 10 years, and I finally got a normal read after 10 years this past January. So I knew I needed to take off half of what I had gained. And I was trying to do it on my own, and what happened is that trying to do it on my own from January to March, I lost like 2.5 pounds. So I knew I needed that extra push. I needed the extra help, and something to help me get going, that it was easy to take on the road and keep me going. And so that's when I jumped on the E84 Challenge, thanks to my wonderful friend. I'm sure you probably had her on the show, Dion Jones.
Yes.
And so I'm sure you had Dion on. And so joining the challenge, it really worked. And in the first month, I lost 4 pounds, and I started to see that I pushed myself. I also got a trainer, too, a personal trainer, and that helped a lot, because I never had someone push me to the next level. And so between him and the 84 Challenge, I started to see I could do more and more on the road. So even on the road, I began jumping on the treadmills and learning how to do different things. And it just so happened I started, the taste for fast food and pop and all that stuff just started to kind of dwindle, and I really started to watch what I was eating. And the shakes were just fabulous. And I have a little hand mixer shake that goes with me on the road, that packs in my suitcase. It's been all over the country, under the planes and everything. And then when I get to where I'm going, I just buy some almond milk, and I have my shake first thing in the morning, so I'm not prey to the hotel free breakfast. So it really worked. And 2 challenges later, I'm now down the 16 pounds that I wanted to be, and I'm gearing up for the Edge Challenge. I think I'll start Sunday because they left one thing out of my shipment, so I'll probably start it Sunday.
Oh, wow. So the Edge category. Oh, I am scared because now you're going to be competing in my category. I'm scared of you. Well,
I got to go to the Edge, Carolyn. I can run 5 miles now. Who would have thought it?
That
My friends calling me up, you never ran. I said, yeah, but I never did E84 either.
Oh, man, that is awesome. And, it's just really cool about how, having a program and having a goal, and when you're engaged into something and how things start to click with you. Now, are you using the application? I'm taking it that you are using the E84 Facebook application. Are you using that, and how's that working for you in terms of keeping yourself accountable?
Oh, yes, I use that application. The only thing is I just hate it when I miss a day because I'm on the road and I don't make it to the hotel in time. And so I've wanted to always complete the full 84 days, but it does keep you in line, and I do like that a lot.
Yeah, and just knowing that you've got eyeballs that are watching you and they're encouraging you in terms of, when you post things online. Isn't that cool when you get on and you post on your Facebook page something that you did, whether it was, you went to the gym or you had your meal replacement, and then you've got people that will comment and just kind of give you a yay and they cheer you on. Isn't that like the coolest thing?
Yes. And what I like for people to know is that you can get your sexy back. Don't think age has anything to do with it. And no one believes my age. I'm still carded, but I'm 45 years old, and I'm closer to 46 than 45. And you can do this.
Yes. Awesome. Now, how hard was it for you when you started the program? How was it easy? Was it hard? Did you have to change your mindset? What did it take for you to rev up to do the program?
It was the fact that I wasn't losing the weight the way that I was normally used to. I usually had a high metabolism, and I could lose 4 pounds in, a couple of weeks workout. And I realized at this stage of the game, it is a different, you do have to work it differently. So that was part of it. Plus, I just wasn't going to accept that I was 10 pounds away from being overweight. I was not just going to accept my body could be like that. I wasn't going to accept it. I've got a lot of friends who say, oh, well, it happens with age, and that's just how it is. And I just could not accept that.
Right.
And I wasn't going to.
I love that mentality. So tell me about water in your overall nutrition. How important is water to you?
I probably drink more water than anything else. As a matter of fact, when people come to my house, there's no pop, there's not a lot of juice, there's nothing but water there. So I drink a lot of water all day long. Matter of fact, I'm out to go get another bottle of water. I just finished 2 today already, and I need another bottle, but I think that's because I'm getting over a sinus infection, so now my body is trying to get rid of that stuff in me.
Now, we were just talking about 5 things that you can change in your lifestyle to help people lose weight, and one of the things that we talked about today was sleep. And how it's important to get 8 hours of sleep in every night, and that will help you with your weight loss. It will help you reset your metabolism for the next day. Your body's rejuvenated and you're not feeling tired, so you're able to burn more calories. So, and I understand you're on the road and you travel a lot. How does that apply to you? Do you find that that sleep is a factor for you, or have you given it much thought?
I find that I sleep actually a little more now because of the working out. I find that my body has wanted to be on a schedule on its own. Like, my eyes are ready to close between 11 and midnight, and then they pop open like about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. So I kind of feel like my body has done its own schedule, but it's forcing me to sleep now. Like, you've worked out, you've done what you need to do for the day, now it's time to rest. So it's like my body, they say exercise and sleep go hand in hand, and I kind of believe that because ever since I've been exercising, I found that my sleep patterns have changed for the good.
That is awesome. So tell me, so you've ran 5 miles. Are you doing any races? Are you doing any 5Ks or anything like that as part of your program to get you ready for the Edge category?
I'm looking for one in Cleveland now. I haven't found one yet, and my trainer thinks it's time for me to do one, and I do too. So I'm looking for one. I missed all the breast cancer awareness activities, because I got to find one that's over like one day, like on a Saturday you run and then you're finished. So I'm looking for one, and then I'm looking for a challenge fitness my trainer told me about in the spring. He told me there's one in the spring, like around April. So I definitely want to train and get ready for that one too.
Very good. Well, that's amazing because you've really made some changes in your life, and you're running now, and things that probably you would never have set for yourself if you had not a specific program that you can jump in and have that accountability, and then also having your trainer, which I think is a good point that you make, because a lot of people, one of the things that I picked up on what you said was that, you tried to do it on your own. And a lot of people have that mentality of doing it on their own. And that's great. If somebody can do it on their own and they have that enough motivation internally and they can push themselves to that point. But even personal trainers, professional fitness professionals even hire personal trainers to get them to that next level. So I found that working for you, that is a very good point, that, at least, invest in yourself, hire a personal trainer, get the correct knowledge, get the advantage of getting pushed to that next level. Because sometimes, that last, 2 or 3 reps that, we probably wouldn't do if we were doing it by ourselves, but they kind of encourage us to get 2 more, right?
Exactly. And trust me, he pushes me. Call to phone. Hello?
We're still with you.
Okay, no, that was my car. I'm sorry. Yeah, and I call my trainer Mean Anthony. So he's mean.
Well, that's awesome. It's all out of tough love. But so, Kristen, I am so excited for you. You just keep on keeping on, and I want to see your final results for this 84 series, and then I am so looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with you in the Edge category. And I always love following you on Facebook and seeing what you've got going on. So you're doing amazing. I'm proud of you. We're excited. We're cheering you on. So have a wonderful day.
Okay, well, the 6-pack is coming. That's next.
Oh, my gosh, I can't handle it. That's awesome. You already have a 6-pack from those pictures that I see, girl. It's already working for you.
Right, but we're going to really define it.
Okay, all right. She's not going to stop, ladies and gentlemen. She is on a roll. All right, girl. Well, we will be looking for that, and we'll bring you on the next time to talk more about that as well.
Thanks so much, Carol Ann. This was fun. Have a good one.
You too. So, gang, just like she said, you out there, many business professionals, you're out on the road, you're traveling, and I can't tell you how many times I hear that as an excuse. Well, I'm on the road, I'm traveling, and let me tell you something. I had an excuse the other day, the reason why they can't change the way that they eat in terms of, maybe doing a meal replacement shake and following a system, and whether it's the E84 challenge with Evolve Health, or if it's another program that you really need to make those adjustments and take things to work with you. I had an individual that told me that her excuse was the reason why she couldn't do a shake in the middle of the day at work, or change something about the way that she eats at work, is because she can't have a blender at work. I mean, that is ridiculous. I mean, you are really pulling at that point to come up with an excuse as to why you cannot eat properly while you're at work. So, so when you're on the road, there are no excuses. There are so many positive health choices out there for you when you're eating. Restaurants, they will allow you to order the way you want to order. If you go to a restaurant and they serve grilled chicken, you don't have to get it on the sandwich. You can get it exactly the way you want it. If they serve green beans, get them the way that you want them. So they are always bending over backwards to make sure you're happy as a customer at their restaurant. So order the food that you know is healthy for you, and order it the way that you want it prepared. So there are no excuses when it comes to restaurants, being on the road, when you're traveling. Hotels usually have, it depends on what hotel you stay at, usually will have a fitness center in their hotel where you can get a workout at the hotel. So and usually hotels will hook up with gyms in the local area, and they'll give out free passes to their customers at the hotel. So there are lots of ways that you can get in proper nutrition and also your exercise while you're on the road. And speaking of which, of being on the road, we're actually going to be traveling to Puerto Rico. We're leaving Thursday and we're coming back Sunday, but we have a lot of people that are ready and excited to join our Hope Revolution and get on the E84 challenge. And so this thing is really going crazy and people are loving it, having a great time, getting healthy, and they're meeting new friends in the meantime. And so the Facebook community is huge. And so we have our next E84 challenger on the line. And this gentleman, we call him Coach Wilson. And he has an amazing story to share with us today as well. And so, Coach Wilson, are you on the line with us today?
Yes, I am, Carolyn. I'm on the line.
Hey. So, Coach Wilson, I've just been enjoying, getting to know you over Facebook. And that's what I love about this program is because not only are we getting healthy and fit, we're getting to meet new people that are like-minded and everybody is just really taking this mission seriously, not only for their own personal lives, but the lives of their friends and their families and just sharing all about what this program is. So I want you to share your story with our listeners and tell us, first of all, what is it that you do? Give us a little bit of your background and then how you got into the program and how it is working for you. Where are you from, by the way? Because you're like an hour behind us.
First of all, I'm from Dayton, Ohio. And yes, I am a Buckeye fan.
Woohoo!
And got a little bad memories about Florida, but that's a whole nother story. I'm in the military. Actually, I just retired from the military about a week ago.
Wow.
And I spent over 24 years in the military providing service to our country.
God bless you.
Thank you so much. And let me just go ahead right into my story. I was approaching retirement when I took a look at this Evolve system. And about year 17 in the military, I started to experience a lot of injuries and started to have a lot of health problems. And in the military, we're very fast-paced. So a lot of people who've been in the military for a long time, they start to skip breakfast because they just don't have enough time to eat. And so that's where I was, and it was causing me to gain a lot of weight. And initially when I started looking to improve my health, I was just looking for some vitamins, Fred Flintstone, gummy bears. But the store that the military has in Honduras, where I was at the time, they didn't have the vitamins, so that took me online. And when I got online, I ran across 3 friends. And one of my friends offered me a shake product, and I tried it. It didn't taste too well. It's pretty decently made, but it didn't taste too well. And so I couldn't do that because it didn't taste too well. And then another one of my friends offered me another shake, and so I tried it. It tasted good, but I found out later that it was full of a whole bunch of artificial sweeteners and flavors. So I said, that doesn't make any sense, I'll be hurting myself in the long run. And finally, a lady by the name of Tabitha Ricketts introduced me to an all-natural, no artificial sweeteners or flavoring shake. And I started to take it. And I was actually in the jungle in Honduras when I started to take this shake.
Wow.
And go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, wow, you're in Honduras. And, and we were just talking about traveling, let alone being in Honduras. And, people making excuses how they can't eat properly or do something healthy for themselves just because they can't travel from A to B in the United States. And you're in freaking Honduras making it happen. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. And so I was in the jungle in Honduras doing some missions with the government. and I got these shakes. And the thing that I liked about them, like I said, been in the military a long time, we get extremely busy, extremely fast paced, so you don't have a lot of time to eat because you're moving from spot to spot, mission to mission. And so what I immediately liked was how quickly I could make a healthy breakfast. And in the jungle, I just had water and shake mix, so in a shake cup. So it took me about 30 to 60 seconds to make it in the jungle. When I got out of the jungle and I got back into civilization and I started to blend my shakes, it took me about 2 to 3 minutes. I actually timed it. And so I now had a vehicle where I could eat healthy and eat quickly so I could get on to the next thing. And what happened with me was in about a month, I lost 20 pounds. And I couldn't really even tell that I lost the 20 pounds. It was just other people start coming up to me, asking me, what am I doing? And I was like, well, I'm just drinking these shakes, you know. I'm not really exercising because I got a lot of injuries, so I'm not doing no exercise. I'm just drinking these shakes. And over the course of 84 days, I lost over 35 pounds. I lost 4 inches off of my belly. I lost 2, almost 3 inches off of my waist. My blood pressure went down, and I started to lose the flavor for some of the foods that I was eating that was bad for my health.
So how now I'm going to jump off task here just a little bit, but where does Coach come in from? How did you get the name Coach? Because I know you're Coach Wilson. Tell me how you came to be Coach Wilson.
Okay. Well, being our military, we travel a lot. So I was actually stationed in Hawaii, and I left Hawaii to go on a mission in Honduras. And so in Hawaii, one of the things that I did is I worked with a lot of community-based nonprofit organizations, and I coached and mentored them in advertising and marketing for their fundraisers.
Okay.
And so people started to call me Coach because of the guidance that I provided for them. And I preferred that because my real name is actually the name of a famous singer, and I didn't want people calling me that singer's name since I wasn't getting his money. And so Coach just kind of stuck. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that singer by the name of Charlie Wilson. If you Google Charlie Wilson, a song will come up that says, "My name is Charlie, last name Wilson," and it goes on, and that's the other thing that I got. So I really like when Coach came along.
Yeah, that's awesome. So have you started I know that you've got a lot of injuries and you were just melting the pounds away with just the shake. Have you, tell me about the Limitless, and because I know that you have some injuries, has the Limitless benefited you at all with your, progress here?
I definitely have to say yes. Some of the injuries that I've got over the years, a lot of hard pounding in the military, is back injuries, knees, ankles, elbows, wrists, from some of the strenuous activity. And initially, I got to say, I really wasn't interested in the limitless. I'm kind of one of those people that don't like to take medicine, so had a real aversion to pills. And so through listening to people like yourself and Steve and Miss Tabitha, and them knowing about my injuries, they kind of encouraged me to try the Betaline pills. And what I did was, I just started taking them not really wanting to, but I did it anyway because it was suggested. And I started to notice a lot of the pain that I normally have from my arthritis and some of my injuries, it'd go away. And I started to notice that after using the pills for about 3 to 5 days, I started to notice that a lot of my inflammation issues wasn't bothering me like it was. And being the person that I am and not liking to take medicine, when I stopped taking the I started to notice how it all came right back. And so I immediately went back to taking the pills.
That's funny because I'm right there with you. I am absolutely right there with you. If there's any, if there is a way that you can eat your nutrition and do it properly, and I understand when it comes to taking pill form supplementation that we always preach that you really want to get proper nutrition and supplementation through your food rather than through pill form. And so, just for people out there that don't know what the Limitless is, it is a supplementation where it's made from beets, basically. And so there is a process by which the betalains were pulled out of the beets, which is the most concentrated form or the ingredient of beets that was a high form of anti-inflammatory. Also, it helps to boost your metabolism, antioxidants. And so Dr. Oz even talks about red being the new green. And the one thing that lowers the efficacy of the beets is the sugar content within the beets. And so a lot of people, number one, they don't like the taste of beets, but then it's the sugar that lowers the benefits of the beets. And so the Limitless product, for those people that don't know, is that it's one little teeny weeny little pill is equivalent to eating like 500 servings of beets. So for those people that want to get the benefits of beets but think beets taste like dirt, like myself, this is huge for us. So, and when somebody else said they thought beets tasted like dirt, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. I feel vindicated. So this has been a godsend for a lot of people that really do have inflammation within the body and are suffering from, arthritis or any other, maybe ailment. However, Evolve Health doesn't make any medical claims or anything. It's just a person by person case and how, here are the properties of the Limitless and here are the benefits. This is what we have found out within our clinical trials. But Evolve Health doesn't really talk about any medical claims. But I was interested to know if that was working for you and if you had benefited from that with your injuries and that. So what else? What are you going to do from now on? So you've lost total 30 pounds, is that right? Or what's your total count and where do you go from here?
Well, my total count is actually 40. I started out, I was in the high 240s. I was fluctuating between 242 and about 249. Excuse me. And my ultimate goal was to get down to between 185 and 190.
All right.
And so I have about excuse me. I have about 20 pounds to go.
All right. So you're going to be on, how many days left do you have on this current challenge that you're on? Do you know?
Yes. Well, actually, I don't know the how many days, but I know that this current challenge, when I started, it'll be over November the 16th.
Okay. All right. So November 16th, this one, and then you're going to start another one and set another goal for yourself?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely. When I get finished to this one, I'll be at the weight that I want to be. And then it'll be time for Sexy Over 40.
Oh, boy. Woo! We can't wait. I can't wait for those pictures to be posted. I am looking forward to it. Well, Coach Wilson, thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. And, I'll be looking for you on Facebook. And, gang, that is it for us. We are having so much fun here when we're talking about health and fitness. Time just absolutely fly. So how many times did we say the word health? Post that on my Facebook page. And be sure to tune in every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at www.healthinforadio.com, where you will definitely have your finger on the pulse with Carol Ann.
You have been listening to The Pulse on healthinforadio.com. Every Tuesday, 12:30 to 1:30 Eastern Standard Time.